Hello, my name is Jason Rosenfeld, and I am the founder of Scenic Labs, the makers of the MediaLight bias lighting. And I just wanted to post this temporary installation video. Temporary because I, as you can probably hear, am still suffering from severe laryngitis. The new MediaLight Mk2 version 2 represents 4 years of refinements and improvements that have been recommended by our customers over the last 4 years since the release of the initial Mk2. And we really try to take any of the rough edges or concerns that customers had and incorporate them into the new product. So before my voice gives out, I'm just going to give you a tour of what's inside the box for the MediaLight Mk2 version 2. And then I will show you just how I would recommend installing it and how I would use some of the new components and accessories that we've included in the box. So thank you for your time. I look forward to updating this soon, hopefully when I have my voice fully back. But I just wanted to get something up there because I believe that the first units are arriving in customers' homes today. So thank you very much. And now I'll give you the product overview. Okay, let's look at what's inside the box for the MediaLight Mk2 version 2 Flex. I have the 2-meter size here. And the first thing that you'll see when you open the package is that compared to the old strip, the adhesive looks a little bit different. This is the old Mk2 and this is the new one. The new strip utilizes a transparent acrylic called Ultra High Bond, and it has the advantage of a spectrally neutral backing that if you are attaching the lights to your display without removing the backing, there is less of a chance that the backing will impart any tint to the light. Usually, if the lights are attached very close to the display, there's not an issue. I've seen some installations where the lights are just hanging very loosely on the back of the display. And in those cases, more of the red backing was exposed. I wanted to be more forgiving of installations like that. So that's one of the major changes. Another change that was made is you'll see there's now an easy peel tab. I know some people are thankful for that, especially if you are installing dozens or even hundreds of these at a facility. It became apparent that we needed it when it took me about 10 minutes to peel the new adhesive. And that's just another example of how we're trying to smooth out some of the rough edges on our product. So that's the change. And the LEDs on the strip are also binned at a tighter tolerance. So while the spectral power distribution remains consistent with the previous version, there is less variation between the individual chips for a more uniform look and for a more accurate surround. Next, we go to the power switch. You'll see we've replaced the on-off language with universal symbols for on and off. We're doing this as part of our effort to make our product more global and more accessible internationally. Another change with the switch is you'll notice that the wiring, the copper is significantly thicker now, which reduces the resistance and allows the lights to work with a greater number of 5-volt dimmers without complications or malfunctions or instability. So that's one of the improvements that's been made. We include with all of the 2 to 7 meter strips a 3-meter roll of something called nano tape, which uses a molecular bond, which is different from an adhesive bond, like an acrylic bond, even though it's clear and looks similar to the other adhesive, that you can remove in the future without leaving any residue. You can also reuse this adhesive. It can be washed with soap and water. It's been sold under other brand names such as Gecko tape or Alien tape, and 3 meters, and we include that length for 2 up into 7 meters because you don't want to be using of the strip as nanotape. It's just too strong. We tried it on prototypes as the default. It's just far too difficult to remove. You couldn't remove the lights in a single piece. So instead, what you'll want to do is take this adhesive and cut it into 2.5 centimeter to 3 centimeter strips and use them I know I'm mixing centimeters and inches, but you'll want to spread them out just along the perimeter of your displays to it as smaller segments. You don't need a lot of it. A single inch or single 2.5 centimeter, 1 centimeter wide strip will support more than a pound. These lights don't weigh more than 1 pound, so you've got enough here to hold. You can probably mount your TV on the wall with this, although don't try that. So this tape is here. Cut it with standard scissors, and I'll be showing some illustrations on the website as well. Okay, we include still a 0.5 meter extension. We keep it at a short length to minimize voltage drop because we are really trying to get every last amp out of your USB port. Use it for lights, not sacrifice it to resistance. Only use the extension if you need it. For example, if the USB port is not near the edge of the display and you cannot get the USB port on the switch to reach without using the extension. And we found that in virtually all cases, you can make it either without the extension or with that extension. Next, there is the finally redesigned MediaLight remote control. The old remote had 50 levels. This one has 150 levels. There are 30 levels between 0 and 20%, whereas in the past there were only 10 levels. So for HDR displays and for setting lighting according to SMPTE standards, we wanted to offer more granular control. The other advantage is that the new dimmer is flicker-free. So whether you suffer from PWM sensitivity or you are using your lights on set, the old flicker, the old PWM rate interfered with your frame rate of your camera, that's no longer an issue. Even though the number of people with PWM sensitivity is fairly low, we believe that this is an ergonomic improvement that benefits all users and will improve both the appearance of the light and how it feels to be working or viewing content to it. Otherwise, it looks very much the same. It's just programmed differently with a higher quality chip and a somewhat lower yield due to the higher performance. So now, and before my voice totally gives out, just a few other things. We used to include only these wire clips. The wire clips are great both for positioning the receiver for the infrared adapter, and they're also good sometimes if you just want to secure the edge of your strip to the display so that your cat or your kids or dog or yourself are less likely to yank it off and tear the strip. So we offer that, although I might even suggest that the nanotape is a more secure way of doing that. So we have that there. And we also included, depending on the length of your strip, a number of flat PCB clips or strip clips. And these are included specifically for displays that have removable panels, like some of the Sony displays where you put a plastic panel over some of your ports. You can use these LED clips, and you can just attach some of the nanotape on the other edge if you don't want to use this adhesive. But this clip secures to the strip like this, and you don't have to permanently attach the lights to the panel. So if you need to get in there in the future, you can just unclip it. And for those who would like another option, we also include some Velcro. Or I don't think this is actually branded Velcro, so hook and loop connector, I will call it. And this can be used whether you want to secure the switch somewhere, whether you want to secure the remote control, the receiver for the dimmer, You can also use it so you don't lose the remote. You can attach it behind your display or attach it to your coffee table or to your other remote control. And you can also use this if you want it on your panels, if you don't want to permanently attach the lights there and you just find this easier than using the PCB clips. There's no one right way of using it. We just thought it wouldn't hurt to include it there because sometimes you come across an installation situation that is a little bit unusual, and that's in the package as well. We've redesigned our installation card and our warranty card so it's a little bit more accessible internationally. Here you see a cat has destroyed our strip. That's the #1 cause to this day of damage to MediaLight. They don't die on their own very frequently. User error is not really up there as a major cause, but those cats, they do not like bias lights. But basically, we've tried to make the product more accessible internationally, offering our sizing information in multiple languages. We're going to translate installation instructions to virtually every language, and we will answer your customer service emails in your own language if necessary as well. I sincerely apologize for the quality of my voice during this demonstration, and if this is still up there, today is September 6th, and if it's still up there in a couple of weeks, it's because my voice has still not fully recovered. However, I just wanted to give you the basic overview here. I'm going to post a little bit more later about how to install the lights, but I just want to say one thing. Copper is a great conductor, a tremendous heat sink, and it's a really lousy structural material. You don't build bridges out of it. You don't build girders out of it. We don't have I-beams in our homes built out of copper. And one of the things about copper is that it will tear very easily. That's one of the ironies, that a better quality strip will tear more easily than a cheap alloy strip. And usually there's no real issue with installing our lights. However, one time where people sometimes will damage their strips, and it's when they try to force the lights into a very sharp and very flat corner. Our lights, the surround that you see on your wall behind the display, will not look any different whether you would adhere them with a little bit of a bump or a little bit of a rounded edge, or whether you flatten them. But if you flatten them, there is a small risk that you will tear the strip. If you do, not to worry, we do cover that under warranty. However, it can delay your installation, and you're all excited to install something, and then you have to wait a couple of days to get the replacement. So just remember, keep it nice and loose on the corners. There's no need to mash it down to a two-dimensional surface. It has no impact on the quality of the surround behind the display, and it can risk actually causing damage to the strip. Again, if it's damaged, we do cover that under our warranty, the 5-year MediaLight warranty, but it's certainly more fun to get it installed in one go. So on behalf of all of us at Scenic Labs, I just wanted to thank you for suffering through my attempt at giving you an introduction to the new product features. I hope to be able to update this fairly soon, and I will be adding more installation instructions based on questions that are submitted by our customers. So if you find that you have any questions after watching this, please don't hesitate to contact me at Jason, Jason, @sceniclabs.com. Thank you very much.